So I'm going to do a solar colored dust mood ring, the liquid crystal effect. So I have my cup base painted black. It is a flat black. I do have, so obviously you're going to need the solar color dust. I have the little 1/2 ounce container here. I'm going to use a little mixing cup, and it has just a little drop of water in there. You can see how little bit of that is. And then a glove, and I'm going to use this paintbrush to start with the end. I'm actually going to be putting it on with my finger. So I don't use these kind of gloves for epoxy, just so everybody knows. I don't want everybody freaking out on me. I found these for a really, really good deal, like 7 boxes for $15. And so I got them for when I paint and stuff, so I'm not using up all my more expensive ones. So I'm just gonna push these down on my hands. I get these a size smaller so that I can use them to put things on with my finger. So I'm gonna open up, let's see if I can move you. There we go. I'm going to open up my solar color, my liquid crystal, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of it right down into my water. I don't know how much I'm going to need because I've never done this before, but I was told that you could thin it with water, so that's what we're going to do. This stuff's expensive, so I'm hoping I can get the whole cup with this. If so, I can get about 4 out of this, or 5. Okay, so then I've thinned it out with my finger. The worst that can happen is it don't work. So then I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to dip it into my paint, and I'm just going to rub it on. And we'll see what happens. It'll either be enough or I've thinned it out too much. If I thinned it out too much, I'll just add a little bit more in there. You can kind of see where it's at. So I've been told this doesn't take that long to dry, so I'm just going to kind of let it dry a little bit just so that I can see if I get a color change or not. That way I know if I need to add some more to my mix. My cup is like super cold though, so it's probably not going to change until it's fully dry and I can actually touch it. So I'm just trying to get it to dry as fast as I can. I feel like I'm gonna need just a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of my solar color stuff to my mix because I feel like I put too much, or not enough quite. So I dumped half of this jar, which is 1/4 of an ounce, into that little drop of water. You can put it on, I believe, straight on the cup. Is what I was told. But they say that it works better when you thin it out. So, thinned out is what we're going to do. And I'm just going to rub it onto my cup And this is kind of a thick product, so it may not give like a smooth coat. If that makes sense. Like, I see a lot of them, they're like, they have lumps. They're kind of like brush strokes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I have enough in here. I think I could probably do 2 coats with my finger, and that might help it out too. If you use the airbrush method, they say like 6 to 12 coats, I think is what I read. I don't have an airbrush, and I'm sure not going to learn how to use one with this stuff because it's expensive. I paid $20 for ½ ounce. And it's $40 for a whole ounce. So you can see I'm just smoothing this on my cup till it's nice. I'm leaving like a thick layer of it on my cup. I want it to be a nice finish when I'm done. And then I'm just going to get my bottom real quick. Just trying to smooth it out. Just going to go back through and just kind of smooth it out. I'm trying to get as smooth of a finish as I can, but it's not too big a deal because once you put the epoxy over it, you're going to get more of a smooth finish anyway. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry for just a little bit, and then we'll see what happens and see if we need a second coat on this. Okay guys, so it's dry. I took my blow dryer to it, and you can see that it's got some color. So I'm going to hold it and see if I can get it to do it. See? You can see right there with the blue. So I want it to be more of a drastic change. So I'm going to add another coat. And what I mixed would have done 2 of these cups. Just so you know. Alright, so I'm going to get my paint back. And what we're going to do is just the same thing as we did before, but you have to make sure this is fully dry or you'll take the first coat back off of it. So we're just going to do another coat. Ooh. So I'm going to gently put this coat on to, as you know, not mess up that first coat. Just keep your finger wet. And this is going to give a more drastic change. They say the more coats you put, the better the change is. So that's why I'm going to just do 2 coats. But I think that what I mixed would have done 2. We'll see when I'm done with this one because it doesn't take much at all. Which is why it's so expensive for so little bit. Because it don't take much. And with an airbrush, it takes even less. Ugh, come on. It would have been better if my glove had been pulled down on my finger some more. Let me try to fix that. There we go. It works better when your glove is tight on your finger. That's why I get this size smaller glove, because I do a lot of this kind of stuff, like painting and stuff. I do it with my finger. So it works a lot better when your gloves are a little bit too small. trying to keep the finish smooth as we go. Once it's fully dry is when it starts to change. I stuck mine in the fridge so that I could get my cup cold because my cup was so warm. From the blow dryer, it was so warm, so I stuck it in the fridge to cool it back off so that I could see the color change. That's why it was all colorful whenever I got on here, because it's normally, it'll be like black. Sometimes people's turn brown, but mine was solid black. Okay, so this is just enough for, whoops, 1 cup, what I mixed. It would not do another cup, which I'm kind of happy because I don't want to waste it. And I don't have another cup prepped to do another one of these, so. And it gets thicker, way thicker as you go. Just doing the bottom. Okay, so now I think everything's pretty good. It's pretty covered. I'll show you, this is what I have left. Just barely anything. So I'm glad I didn't waste much. Now here's my jar, and that's how much I used. You see that line? So I didn't use a whole lot. So I could probably get 3 more cups out of this. So let me let this dry, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so my last coat is dry. And you can kind of see what it looks like. I just pulled this out of the fridge because I blow dried it. So I had to get it back down to a cold temperature. But you can see just from spinning that on my hand, like, let me do that again. Like it's changing. So I'm gonna just hold it. That's just with 2 coats with the finger method. Like, how cool is that? And it doesn't take very long at all. Like, let me show you right here. I'll just do my thumb here. 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds. Let's see, 1. Yeah, see, it changes pretty quick. I mean, you can just like touch it and pull away. And it changes. Like, how cool is that, guys? That's so awesome. Anyways, hopefully this will help you make your own mood ring tumbler. So now I'm just gonna cover this in epoxy. It does work under epoxy, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Oh my God, look at this. It is so stinking cool.